I did my project on an environmental organization. I chose to do it on a foundation called the Conservation Foundation. I picked this foundation because it is very close to home and I learned it to be extremely helpful. I am first going to talk about the main issue they work with, then I will discuss the solution they are promoting, and then more details about the organization themselves. To start is the issue, which is non-point source pollution. Non-point source pollution results from land runoff, precipitation, atmospheric deposition, drainage, seepage, and other sources. It is caused by rainfall or snowmelt moving over and through the ground. An example is a raindrop falls and hits the ground and flows across streets, yards, fields, and more. While it flows, it picks up grease, chemicals, dirt, fertilizers, pesticides, as well as trash. All of those pollutants mix with that rain and flow away as non-point source pollution. This pollution affects us in many ways, such as recreation, fisheries, wildlife, and our drinking water supplies. As well, it is the leading problem in water quality. Next is the solution. The Conservation Foundation started using watersheds. In this bubble is a diagram of what a watershed is. A watershed is defined as an area of land that drains down slope until it reaches a common point. The Illinois EPA is using watershed management to reduce water pollution. A watershed approach is the most effective framework to address water resource issues. Watersheds supply drinking water, provide recreation, as well as sustain life. Watersheds statistically address priority water resource goals, as such listed on this bubble. The last thing I want to discuss is the foundation itself. This foundation was formed in 1972 in Naperville, Illinois. It is all about protecting rivers and streams, as well as using different approaches. I am looking at this organization because it's very close to home. It connects to different water streams around my area. Their major thing is that they're working on watersheds. For the DuPage River watershed is mainly focusing on 5 different things, such as Adopt a Stream, DuPage River Sweep, Storm Drain Stenciling, DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group, as well as Lower DuPage Rivershed. Their main thing that they focus on is their watersheds, but the second thing they focus on as well is their Adopt a Stream project. It brings all members, residents, and professionals together for the sake of preservation and conservation. I had the opportunity and the pleasure to speak with Tara Neff, who is the Water Resource Assistant at the Conservation Foundation. We spoke for over an hour about everything, and she gave me awesome details about what they do. This foundation works with local units of government. We talked about how different landscapes are a huge tie to the different non-point source pollutions. We talked about how you need a permit to dump water into rivers and streams and so forth. One needs to obtain an MS4 permit, which is a stormwater drain permit. One also needs to obtain a wastewater treatment plan permit. The Illinois EPA needs to know who is dumping what into the waters. The Illinois EPA takes assessments on rivers and streams. They take segments of those rivers and do a 5-year rotation between those bodies of water. They look for macroinvertebrate and fish, if the habitat looks the same or has changed, riverbed sediment chemistry, as well as collecting all the stats from the monitoring throughout the year. Tara and I discussed an example to help me understand this more. The watershed group work is not just looking at one chemical, but all of them. One chemical they look at the most is chloride. Chloride is also known as road salt. The foundation uses a holistic approach on how chloride affects aquatic life. Chloride is used for de-icing snow on roads. The foundation works on how to reduce the amount of road salt in the snow fighting issues that end up in the rivers and streams. Illinois has a no net increase, so companies and this foundation work together to decrease the amount of chloride used in the winter. On this slide, I just listed some facts I obtained from articles as well as talking to Tara. One of the facts I found interesting was that about 40% of total household water used during the summer months is for watering lawns and gardens. This last bubble are some quotes that I obtained from Tara that I found very interesting and unique, and they also stuck with me. They include, even though water is degrading, it doesn't mean all hope is lost. She was talking about that and brought that up when we were discussing the example of how chloride is used as road salt. And that one really stuck to me, and I understand that one the most. I hope that you all learned a lot about non-point source pollution, as well as how watersheds help prevent it. And I hope you look more in depth with the Conservation Foundation as well.